Game at Old Trafford, Manchester United 3, Ipswich 2. United winning it with that Maguire goal in the second half, despite playing more than 45 minutes with only 10 after Dorgu's red card. He had a night to forget, really, didn't he? Tom Kenny watched that. We'll talk about Dorgu's part that he played in the game, Tom. But in terms of Manchester United, a lot of questions being asked about them under Amorim. How many did they answer tonight with the way they responded and got the job done?
You know what? I think the last two games, or maybe the last three halves of football, I think they've really responded well. They seem together. They're fighting for each other. The second half at Everton at the weekend, you could see that 2-0 down to 2-2. Tonight, 10 men with over 45 minutes. A nervous game. Fought Bruno Fernandes in both games, the weekend and tonight. Led by example, talisman again. So it shows you that they're in the fight. They've had a lot of questions asked, and fair play to them tonight. To play against any Premier League team, OK, Ipswich are in the bottom three, but they started well. So to answer the questions they did, come back, win the game, and, to be honest, look comfortable in the end, it's positive signs. Yeah, and Amorim's just said there were lots of positives, exactly that, echoing your comment there, and the performance, happy in many aspects of the way they won that tonight, particularly when you're given the way the night had started for them and the way the first half finished. I mean, Dorgu, their January signing, they wanted to make an impact, but not like this. No, I mean, he made the mistake on 3-4 minutes, and I don't think he ever recovered from that, really. He gave the ball away a few times after that, and I think we've all been there as players. Like, if you start the game badly sometimes, you need to simplify it as much as possible to find your way back in, and he made another huge mistake with the tackle, which was, I think everyone agreed that it was a straight red. It was a potential leg breaker, I think, if Hutchinson's foot is stuck in the floor. Luckily, his leg's up a little bit, and he had to go off in the end. I think it was due to that tackle. So, yeah, it was a night to forget for Dorgu, but he's a young boy, and I'm sure he'll come again. Mike, let's just bring you in on that, just to get your take on things. That's the 5th red card of the season for Manchester United. Dorgu sent off. Tom, in no doubt at all. What did you think of it when you saw it?
Yeah, I've just got it now. I've got the still on. It's just a poor challenge. You can't get the ball. I know VR's got involved. I'm looking where the fourth official is. The fourth official is literally 3 yards away. Got the best view in the house. He's got to tell the referee how bad the tackle is. And when you see his leg does join, I think when he got sub later on in the game, I think it's definitely down to that challenge earlier on in the game. It's a shocking challenge.
Why did it take so long for them to make the decision then?
I don't know, because you've only got to look at it once, and then you know straight away, as soon as you've seen it, it's just a red card all day. So why they looked at it that many times, I don't know. Then he explained to the player why he was going to get sent off, and it's just a horrible challenge. Horrible.
Mixture of emotions, feeling a bit frustrated, but also relief that you get the 3 points.
No, today I'm not frustrated with the situations of the game. Of course, if you get a little bit frustration because we were controlling the game. We suffered a goal, one mistake that can happen. But since the first minute, I felt that the players were fine. Were trying to play. We managed to score 2 goals, and then the sent off changed a little bit the game. But the fight that the guys showed, and especially our fans, help us a lot. So I think we fully deserve the 3 points today.
Speaking to Bruno Fernandes just a couple of minutes ago, he said it feels as though to be a Manchester United player right now, you have to suffer. Do you want to get to a situation where you don't have to suffer?
Of course, we have to enjoy this life, but there is some moments that are really hard. But that is natural in every professional. You need to suffer in some moments to enjoy the good moments also. So we have to pass this moment. We have to think just in the next game, not think in the past or in the future. Let's think in the moment. We won this game. Let's prepare for the next one.
A difficult night for Patrick, as you sort of alluded to there. Do you worry in case maybe you think he's not ready for this level yet? It's only been a couple of games that he's been involved.
It's ready because he proved the last game, and any player here can have a mistake like today, Patrick, and then the sent off. He wants to play the ball. Maybe he's a little bit harsh the way he went for the ball, but he's clearly ready for. He's inexperienced, but he's ready for Premier League. But people judge right away. So last week he was okay, good performance against Everton, and today they will say that he's not experienced enough to play in Premier League. But I don't feel that way.
We've talked about confidence before. Do you feel as though you've seen a shift tonight in that performance overall in terms of what you've been looking for?
What just was just a game. What I felt is that we start the game in a different way, and you can feel it the way we controlled the possession. We were more calm with the ball.
Minus the goal.
Minus the goal, and that give more credit to my players, because even with that goal we managed to control the game, the tempo of the game, to create situations and then to turn things around. So they did a great job.
Appreciate your time.
Guys, another hard-fought 90 minutes, crucial goal for you, Harry, but I guess an even more crucial 3 points.
Yeah, obviously really important. We found ourselves in a difficult position this year, and coming into the game we knew it was a big game for us. We had to change our home form around, and we obviously give them a goal. Obviously a poor mistake on our behalf, and then we took control of the game, and I felt like we was playing really well. We were playing some of our best football probably of the season, especially in that first half, and then to lose a man again in, I think that's 3 in our last 2 months or so. So we made it difficult. We knew the second half would be tough, and obviously we scored from a set play, which was really important, and managed to hold on in the end.
Bruno, I heard you saying almost in jest that if you're not suffering right now, it doesn't feel like Manchester United, but does it kind of feel that way as a player out there at the moment?
No, the moment is what it is. You know, like we've been suffering, we know that. We're not being at our best. As H said, probably today, when you're playing your best football, you concede a goal so early, but still get back to the game. We scored from 2 set pieces, but we were completely in control of the game, playing between the lines, finding the spaces, finding the gaps. I think he's still missing that little bit of aggressiveness going forward. When we beat our opposition between the lines and we turn, we need to be more aggressive going into their box. But we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that with time, with players getting more confidence. When we win games, you get more confidence, you get more brave. So hopefully in the next few games we're gonna score more and more.
I was going to ask you about that, and confidence has been a word that has been spoken about quite readily over the past couple of months within this team. I'm thinking about Patrick tonight, and I guess how difficult and challenging it might be for him the next few weeks and months. How do you make sure, I guess, as captain, that his head doesn't go too down?
No, we have to, as we said, me and Age, we've been here for a while already. So we know that we have to stick what we've been training, trying to do what we was supposed to do. You know, it could be that you could feel in moments that it's not working, but for some reason the manager wants us to do that. And if he wants us to do that, they watch so many games, they prepare themselves. We have a big staff, not only the ones that came with him, but the ones who are already here. We have great people behind the team to work on that. So if they do that in the right way, we just have to come on the pitch and show it. And as I said, we need to have more confidence, be more brave to show our character and our qualities.
Harry, will you do the honours for me, please? Because Bruno, you are the player of the match. Congratulations, well done. Nice.
Again, I'm sure Ruben Amorim is frustrated in the fact that he has to play Bruno so deep in his team, because he's so vital in terms of creativity. You want to get him closer to the opposition goal. He's playing very much deeper, still impacting the game, but he want to get people back to be able to fill that road in the middle of the pitch to push him further forward, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think the first half, if you look at Dorgu and Garnacho, who are back in the team, I think if you look at the link up between them both, I think there's positives to be taken there. They were the 2 best players for me in the first half of United, causing all sorts of problems down this left-hand side. So, you know, unfortunate to get sent off and then taken off straight away. But you know, it was positive signs from them.
Yeah. That's the thing. Dorgu was playing well, wasn't he? But it was a tackle on Hutchison that ended up being a straight red card. I mean, can you have any arguments with this one, Rio?
I don't think so. No, I don't think there's any arguments at all. It's a bad touch, and he slides in there on a slippery surface. I don't think there's any malice in it. I think he was genuinely going for the ball. But when you're going in with your studs up, the rules today suggest that you can't do that. So.
Yeah, I think it's just a bad touch from Amari, which it sucked him in a little bit to go for the ball. I don't think he would have done it if it was close contact. And yeah, as Rio said, I don't think there's malice in it. And when you catch someone studs up across the shins, it's a straight red.
Yeah, so the manager would be hoping to get to half-time with that 2-1 lead, but things did go from bad to worse, because the red card was very closely followed by a second goal, wasn't it, for Ipswich? And it was Philogene again, and, well, once again, just not great defending, not to put too fine a point on it.
Yeah, I would argue maybe De Ligt could hold the line and keep a strong line, but it's difficult. There's no pressure on the ball. So maybe you do have to go back in it, but he's got to mark goal side. That's the problem. He isn't goal side, and Delap is owning that situation there. And then that little run across the front, which John can kind of talk about a bit more, puts the goalkeeper's eye line off.
It was a movement before that. It was a two yards. He took to the right first. He's gone in between them. He's took his yards off him, and then he's moved, and De Ligt's dropped in. And then it's just getting across the keeper's eye line, and he's unlucky not to get a touch, but Onana can't do much about it. And it's a great ball in, because you see free kicks like that, balls in, as long as you're hitting the target or in between the sticks, you've got a chance of going in.
What I would say, from a Man United defensive point of view, forget the ball in the people in the box as well. Get out to people, stop crosses. You're paid to do that. Sometimes a bit of intensity and desire to get out there and make it difficult for the man on the ball to put balls into your box where it's very dangerous.
Yeah, well, it was all square at half-time, albeit that Ipswich did have the one-player advantage. But what a reaction from Man United in the second half. Harry Maguire, we know what he's capable of at set pieces, and this header was, unstoppable. Yeah,
Harry's one of the best in the business in both boxes in terms of heading the ball. I mean, at the weekend he didn't show that defensively, but in this, when he's attacking balls, you've seen with England shirts, he's so dangerous in these areas. He's timing, he's running, he's brave, and when he does get his head on the ball, he knows where to put it. And again, a wonderful delivery. Great execution on the end of it from Harry.
What I'm surprised about there, you've got markers usually at set piece, and you've got blockers, and the 3 people block them, but
none of them will get near him.
Philogene on a penalty spot, and he's one person you don't want to be on the penalty spot trying to head out. So I was surprised by that. Good finish, good desire to show and get on the end of set pieces. So a well-worked corner routine.
United were also able to hold on to that lead for the duration of the second half, but it wasn't just about scoring goals as far as Harry Maguire was concerned, because we spoke about Delap, didn't we, before the game, and these two players had a great tussle. Delap trying to get the better of him, Maguire obviously tracking him every stretch of the way, obviously well aware of the danger that he could pose if he was able to get in behind.
Yeah, well, listen, before every game, especially as a centre-half, you go, who am I going to be alongside today playing against? And Delap was going to be the guy around the 2 centre-halves, especially. And you look at it, all the 3 centre-halves, and you look at it and you go, right, I've got to make sure I get up against him, work him, make sure he's got to work hard to get any type of joy out of me. I thought Harry done that in the main today really well.
He did it really well, and I think if one person's going to against the battle, Liam, I would have picked the other one. I wouldn't have picked Harry, because he's
is that experience though? Is that experience? Because you're saying there you'd go on the weaker, more inexperienced centre back.
Yeah, I'll try them both.
Yeah,
I'll see who's the weakest and what the weakest at, and then I'll play on that.
So I was the weakest. You used to play against me all the time.
Never played against you.
I think we'll move swiftly on from this one. Well, we've had the guys talk.
And in a set plays tonight, which hasn't been a weakness for us, so I can't say it's something across the whole season. We've defended set plays well, but we weren't able to deal with them well enough tonight. And then in the second half, we weren't strong enough from a maturity point of view to manage the game in terms of being away from home here, but with an extra man and needing to go and score the goal. I thought they handled it much better than us. They were stronger in both areas. They showed their experience, they showed their qualities on both ends of the pitch, and we didn't have the qualities to go and break them down.
A big learning curve is this for Ipswich tonight when it comes to playing in the Premier League? We spoke pre-match about the opportunity it could have been for them, but on reflection, Manchester United were worthy winners.
It is, but you're coming to Manchester United. It's the first time a lot of these players would have played here. The level, it's a different level. You're playing against a Manchester United player, it's a different level than stepping up from the Championship. They've probably seen that this year. But what Kieran's just touched upon is set pieces. So how important they are, and when you've got desire of people attacking them in delivery, you're always up against it. So, fortunately they had Bruno in the team and was delivering, but, it's a steep learning curve for a lot of players this year, but hopefully they'll go on to have a good end to the season and give themselves a chance of staying up.
Yeah, it's such a tough situation, isn't it, at that end of the table? It's so unforgiving. Now here they are in the predicament. Leicester play tomorrow night, and if you look at the fixtures that they have coming up, Crystal Palace is next away from them. You look at the run they're on. It's tough, isn't it, to see where the points come from?
Yeah, and you get into that little bit of a cycle that's just continually you're seeing the same pictures. We lose a goal, heads drop, lose a game, onto the next one, and they have to find a way of getting out of that rut. And it's going to take a hell of a performance, a hell of will from this team, and a change of fortunes as well. But like Kieran McKenna said there, the manager, the fundamentals, you've got to defend set pieces, you've got to defend your box, defend your area, and again, hope on some occasions you get a little bit of luck, and at the moment they're not getting any of that.
Can they get themselves out of this?
They've got a chance with Liam up front, I would say that. I think he's relentless, he's strong, he's quick, he's got a finish in him, left and right foot. He'll never stop during the game, and they've got a little bit of quality in the team behind him as well. So they've got a chance. It's just whether they can put a string of results together, possibly try and make Portman Road a bit of a fortress, and they haven't done that yet this year, and I thought that would be their chance of staying up. And I think they've only won one game there this year.
Yeah, that's surprising. That's the thing that surprised me. I thought any team that does well, Nottingham Forest, one of the great things they created was a fortress at their home ground, loud, energy, and the other teams haven't been able to feed off their home supporters enough yet.
Yeah, they certainly haven't. As far as Manchester United
Ruben Amorim defended Patrick Dorgu after Manchester United survived his early error and first half sending off to beat fellow strugglers Ipswich 3-2 at Old Trafford. But the Portuguese will speak to fellow 20-year-old Alejandro Garnacho after the winger headed straight down the tunnel, having been taken off during the reshuffle that followed the red card. The breathless Premier League encounter started with Jadon Philogene capitalising on a calamitous mix-up between Dorgu and goalkeeper Andre Onana to tap home and silence Old Trafford. Sam Morse's own goal and a Maguire-legged effort put United ahead, only for the Danes' poor challenge on Omari Hutchinson to earn a red card after referee Darren England reviewed the pitchside monitor on the VAR's advice. Ipswich level just before the break as Philogene's cross crept past Onana, but Harry Maguire's header moments into the second half proved enough for just Amorim to collect just his 5th league win in charge. Everybody when they watched that ball were thinking, here we go again, the Portuguese said of the Ipswich 4th-minute opener. But then sometimes football is like that, and we managed to fight all the situations during the game and think we truly deserve the 3 points today. The first situation was a misunderstanding, the way they connect each other. Then the sending off. The important thing is that I really know Dorgu quite well. He doesn't want to harm anybody, and that is important for me. Then you have this situation. He had that mistake, and then you feel in the game that he was making a lot of runs, trying to win every ball, being aggressive, and sometimes you overdo it, and he has these problems today. Dorgu sending off saw Amorim turn to defender Nasser Mazraoui in place of Garnacho, who headed straight down the touchline to the dressing room after being brought off just before half-time. The Argentina international posted an Instagram story of him looking dejected walking through the rain shortly after the game. It was cold and wet, maybe, Amorim said of Garnacho's decision to head down the tunnel. The thinking was we'd play more in the 5-3-1. I know that is a risk, because you are taking maybe the only player who has 1-against-1 pace, but I felt the team was okay in the controlling of the game, almost at half-time. Then you make the substitution. We have to choose someone to go out, we have to think about set pieces also, so it was my choice. Amorim was later asked to clarify whether he was unhappy with Garnacho, and the United boss brought up Marcus Rashford, who recently joined Aston Villa on loan, in his answer. You are making a connection with Rashford, right? I know, he said. What I'm saying is I'm going to talk obviously with Garnacho about that, so I will talk about that if you want in the next press conference.